So we just received the jury's verdict on punishment, and we of course received their guilt-innocence verdict yesterday when they found the defendant, Jeffery Andre McDonald, guilty of murder. After hearing the evidence this morning and arguments, they sentenced the defendant to life in a Texas prison.
So is this life without parole, or what are we talking about?
So because this is a first-degree murder and not a capital murder, the defendant will be parole eligible. Of course, that's a determination that gets made by the Board of Pardon and Paroles based on Texas law, but it is something that he would be eligible for parole at some point.
The jury seemed really kind of moved by all of this.
From what we could tell, and anyone who saw the facts and circumstances of this case, I think was moved by it. The jury was certainly emotional during the trial and certainly emotional during arguments as well. In any case that involves this amount of brutality, how could they not be?
Speaking of the family, how's the family taking this?
So of course, they've been incredibly strong over the last 4 years and are continuing to stay strong for not just themselves, but the entirety of their family and the community that was ripped apart when this defendant killed Rebecca Joy.
For those of us that are not up to date, can you talk a little bit about the case, what happened, what he was convicted of?
Sure. So the allegations here, which are now of course confirmed facts by this jury, was back on July 26th of 2018. The defendant, Jeffery Andre McDonald, brutally murdered Rebecca Joy in her apartment on the northwest side of Harris County. After her killing, the defendant dismembered her body and then discarded her like trash in the Greens Bayou that runs right next to the Hardy Toll Road. Team members of the Harris County Sheriff's Office, including Detective David Crane and his team of homicide detectives and crime scene technicians, spent the next couple of days not only finding the complainant's body, but also working tirelessly to solve the crime and determine exactly who was responsible for her death.
Okay. And you mentioned life. He would have to serve at least 25 years before, is that mine?
So under Texas parole law, someone who is convicted of an offense of this nature would typically have to serve half time before they're eligible for parole. But in a situation like this, where there's a sentence of life, an individual would be parole eligible under Texas law at 30 years. That doesn't mean paroled at 30 years, because again, that's a determination that would be made by the Texas Board of Pardon and Paroles, but he would not be parole eligible for at least 30 years.
Did the length of time from then to now with the trial make any difference?
In his parole eligibility?
Or just length of time since from the, I know that the court system's all backed up. Has it caused any kind of issues or anything?
No. So fortunately for us and fortunately for the family and the complainant, the Sheriff's Office has been incredibly supportive and cooperative with us. They've worked tirelessly to bring this family and this complainant justice. So the detectives, even the ones who were retired, were happy to come in and testify and make sure that this jury knew exactly what this defendant did to the complainant.